Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to get to the bottom of two terms you hear all the time, website and web app. And by the time we're done here, you'll know exactly what sets them apart and why it matters so much.
Okay, let's start with a really simple way to think about this. Just picture a website as a digital brochure, something you read, and a web app? That's online software, something you use. And that one little distinction, right there, is the key to understanding everything else.
All right, so first up, let's really dig into what we mean by digital brochure, starting with the good old-fashioned website. When you boil it all down, a website's #1 job is just to show you things. It's built to present information, right? Whether that's an article, a company's story, or pictures of a product, its main goal is for you to just consume the content. And right here, you can kind of see the DNA of a website. The big themes are informational, read-only, and no complex logic. What that really means is the experience is pretty much the same for absolutely everyone who visits. You usually don't have to log in because, well, the site doesn't really need to know who you are to show you its stuff.
And you use these things all the time, probably without even thinking about it. Wikipedia? That's a giant digital encyclopedia. A news site like the BBC, you go there to read what's happening. Even a company's main page is a perfect example. It's just there to tell you about who they are and what they sell.
Okay, now let's flip over to the other side of our analogy and see how this online software is a completely different beast.
So the magic word here is interact. A web app isn't something you just read. It's something you actually do stuff with. You perform tasks, you can change data, you use it like a tool, and it all happens right inside your web browser.
This is where it gets personal. You log in, and suddenly the content changes just for you. Think about a custom dashboard, or a shopping cart that actually remembers what you put in it, or a system that processes your payments. It's all about action, personalization, and, yeah, handling some pretty complex jobs.
I mean, if you've ever sent an email with Gmail, or worked on a spreadsheet in Google Docs, or even just checked your bank balance online, then you've used a web app. What's the common thread? You had to log in to get a unique experience where you could get things done.
Okay, so now that we get them separately, let's put them head to head. This is where the differences really become crystal clear. So what are the biggest distinctions when you really compare them side by side? Let's break it down by their most important features.
This chart just lays it all out perfectly. I mean, look at the purpose row. Websites display info, web apps let you perform tasks. Simple as that. Then check out user interaction. It's low for a website, but high for an app. And that one fundamental difference is what drives everything else, from why you need a login to why web apps cost so much more to build.
Theory is one thing, but let's see how this stuff actually works in the real world with a couple of examples you'll totally recognize.
So, imagine your favorite restaurant. Its website is the digital brochure, right? It shows you the menu, tells you where to find them, has some nice pictures of the food. But the second you click order online, bam, you've just stepped into their web app. That's the part that lets you pick your order, pay for it, and track it to your door. One informs, the other performs.
And it's the exact same idea with a school. The public website, that's for everybody. It has general news, course descriptions, that kind of thing. But that student portal, the place where you have to log in to see your own grades and turn in your homework, that's a powerful web application, and it's customized just for you. Okay, so let's say you were starting a new project. How in the world would you decide which way to go? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward once you know the right questions to ask.
Look, the key takeaway here is super simple. If your main goal is just to have an online presence and share information with people, a website is the perfect, most cost-effective way to do it. It's all about getting your message out.
But the second your project needs users to log in, or save their own personal data, or handle complex transactions, you are firmly in web application territory. If your business is more of a service or a tool, you don't need a brochure. You need software.
And really, it all comes back to this one simple but really powerful idea. If you can just remember this one sentence, you've pretty much mastered the core difference between them. Information versus interaction. That's the whole game. And I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. As even so-called simple websites add things like personalized recommendations or interactive comment sections, is that line between them starting to get a little blurry? Are the best online experiences really just a mix of both? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.